Again, yes, the figure 3 over here, it represents a case where a firm is incurring a loss. But even though if it still running at a loss, it can still go on. That means it can still go on producing goods and commodities. Let's have a look at the fourth diagram. The fourth diagram is similar to the earlier diagram, the third diagram. Similar in a sense like this is the total loss of the firm. That means this area G, E4, P4, F, it is the total loss of this particular firm. And like what I've been telling you, this particular firm, even though if it is running at a loss, it can still go on. Why it can still go on? Because if we look at the average variable cost curve, the average variable cost curve over here, this curve, it passes through this point, then climb up, which means at this equilibrium point, at this price, this particular firm can still cover its average variable cost, which means it can still go on, it can still producing the different goods and commodities. Why? Is because it can still recover its average variable cost. But looking at the fifth diagram, what happened is, yes, it is a situation where a firm has to shut down. Okay, why it has to shut down? Yes, in this very diagram it shows that the firm is producing OQ5 as an output and charge OP5 as the price. The equilibrium occurred at E5 where MC equal MR, MC cuts MR from below, so on and so forth. So at this much output and this much price, or this much price, or the AR, first let's look at the AC. The AC, it is this much. Okay, let's say a Q5 is the AC of this particular firm. And if you look at this very diagram, so also not only this particular firm, not only it could not even cover the average cost, it cannot cover the average variable cost. Because why? The average variable cost, it is from this particular area. And the thing is, if you look at the average variable cost, let's say B, okay, the average cost, it's AQ5. The average variable cost, it's BQ5. And the price, it's E5Q5. Okay, so if the firm is under this particular situation, it cannot help but it has to